In the stillness before dawn, when the world holds its breath between night and day, nature reveals her most profound teaching, that all wisdom flows from understanding the deeper patterns that govern existence itself. The trees do not struggle against winter, nor do rivers fight their course to the sea. They follow the natural order with a grace that human beings have largely forgotten. I have spent countless hours in solitude, observing the way shadows move across stone, how water finds its path through the hardest ground, how even the smallest seed contains within it the complete blueprint of the mighty tree it will become. Through this observation, I learned that the greatest wisdom is not found in complex philosophies or elaborate strategies. It is written in the very fabric of the natural world, waiting for those who have the patience to read its silent teachings. Modern life has created an artificial separation between human existence and natural wisdom, as if consciousness somehow exempted us from the universal principles that govern all life. But this separation is an illusion that breeds suffering, confusion, and a persistent sense that something essential is missing from our carefully constructed lives. Today, I share what I have learned about aligning human life with nature's deepest wisdom, not as romantic escapism, but as practical philosophy for living with clarity, purpose, and unshakable peace. Nature operates according to principles that have refined themselves over billions of years. Every system in the natural world demonstrates efficiency, resilience, and harmony that surpasses human design. The wisdom embedded in these systems offers guidance for every aspect of human existence, if we learn to observe with the proper attention. Consider the way water moves through the landscape. It does not fight obstacles, it flows around them, finding the path of least resistance while maintaining its essential nature. When blocked completely, it gathers strength until it can overcome or redirect. When heated, it transforms into vapor and rises. When frozen, it becomes solid and endures. Water teaches us about adaptation without loss of essence, about persistence without rigidity, about power without aggression. Trees demonstrate the art of deep roots and flexible growth. They anchor themselves firmly in foundational principles while allowing their branches to bend with changing winds. They grow toward light while remaining grounded in earth. They shed what no longer serves them seasonally, understanding that release is necessary for renewal. They give shelter to others while maintaining their own integrity. Trees teach us about authentic strength, rooted but not rigid, generous but not depleting. The forest itself reveals the principle of mutual support within apparent competition. Trees share nutrients through underground networks, warn each other of dangers through chemical signals, and create microclimates that benefit the entire ecosystem. Individual success serves collective thriving, and collective health ensures individual survival. The forest teaches us that true prosperity emerges from interconnection, not isolation. Observe how nature handles cycles and seasons. There is a time for growth, and a time for rest, a time for expansion, and a time for consolidation. Nothing in nature tries to be in constant summer or perpetual spring. Each season serves its purpose in the greater pattern of renewal and development. Nature teaches us the wisdom of timing, the necessity of rest, and the understanding that apparent endings are often beginnings in disguise. Even in seeming destruction, nature demonstrates regenerative wisdom. Forest fires clear undergrowth for new growth. Floods deposit fertile soil. Winter's death feeds spring's rebirth. Nature shows us that breakdown is often breakthrough, that crisis contains opportunity, that what appears to be ending may be transformation in progress. This perspective transforms our relationship with difficulty, from resistance to curiosity about what wants to emerge. The Stoic philosophers understood that living according to nature meant aligning human life with the rational order that governs the universe. This was not about primitive living or romantic naturalism. It was about recognizing that the same principles organizing the cosmos could organize human consciousness and conduct. To the Stoics, nature represented the logos, the divine reason or organizing intelligence that creates harmony from apparent chaos. Living according to nature meant discovering your proper role in this universal order, and fulfilling it with excellence. Just as each organ in a body serves the whole while maintaining its function, each person serves the human community while developing their unique capacities. This philosophy recognized that human beings are both part of nature and distinct within it. Our distinction lies not in separation from natural law, but in our capacity for conscious choice about how we respond to natural conditions. Animals follow instinct automatically. Humans can choose to align with natural wisdom through reason and virtue. The natural law tradition understood that certain principles are universal, applicable across cultures and circumstances because they reflect the fundamental structure of reality itself. The preservation of life, the pursuit of knowledge, the importance of community, and the development of human potential were seen as natural inclinations that, when properly ordered by reason, create flourishing individuals and societies. Living according to nature, in this view, meant developing the four cardinal virtues: wisdom, understanding what is true; courage, acting despite fear; justice, giving each their due; and temperance, maintaining proper measure. These virtues were considered natural because they represent the optimal functioning of human capabilities, just as health represents the optimal functioning of the body. This ancient understanding also recognized the importance of accepting what lies beyond human control, while taking full responsibility for what lies within it. Nature demonstrates this principle constantly, responding optimally to conditions, while not wasting energy trying to control what cannot be controlled. The tree grows toward available light, rather than demanding the sun change its path. The key insight was that human happiness and fulfillment emerge not from fighting natural constraints, but from understanding and working skillfully within them. Like a master craftsperson who understands the grain of wood or the properties of metal, the wise person understands human nature and universal principles, creating a life of beauty and effectiveness through alignment rather than opposition. When we study natural systems closely, we discover operational principles that can guide human decision-making and life design. These patterns have been tested across countless generations and environments. They represent survival strategies that have proven their worth through time. The principle of adaptive resilience appears throughout nature. Grass bends in strong winds, rather than trying to stand rigid, and therefore survive storms that break mighty trees. Applied to human life, this teaches the art of flexibility. Without loss of integrity, we can adapt our methods while maintaining our values, adjust our strategies while keeping our direction, change our approach while preserving our essence. Natural systems demonstrate the power of gradual, consistent progress over dramatic, unsustainable efforts. Rivers carve canyons through persistent flow, not sudden force. Seeds become trees through steady growth, not rapid expansion. This teaches us the value of daily practices over dramatic resolutions, of compound development over instant results, of patient persistence over anxious urgency. The concept of ecological succession shows how complex systems develop through stages, each preparing the ground for the next level of organization. Pioneer species create conditions that allow more sophisticated life forms to establish themselves. In human development, this suggests that each phase of growth serves its purpose and creates the foundation for the next phase. We need not rush through stages or skip necessary preparations. Natural systems excel at energy efficiency, achieving maximum result with minimum waste. This is not laziness but optimization, not shortcuts but elegant solutions. Applied to human life, this suggests focusing energy on high-impact activities, eliminating unnecessary complications, and finding the simplest path to meaningful goals. Like water finding the most direct route to the sea, we can learn to move toward our purposes with natural efficiency. The principle of symbiosis reveals how apparent competitors can become collaborators when they understand their mutual benefit. Different species create partnerships that strengthen both parties. In human relationships and work, this teaches us to look for win-win solutions, to seek ways that individual success can contribute to collective prosperity, and to transform competition into collaboration through expanded perspective. Natural systems maintain homeostasis, the ability to self-regulate and maintain stability despite changing external conditions. This teaches us the importance of developing internal equilibrium that remains steady, regardless of external circumstances. Like a tree that maintains its core temperature through seasonal changes, we can cultivate inner stability that supports us through life's inevitable fluctuations. Modern civilization has created unprecedented separation from natural rhythms and wisdom, and this disconnection carries costs that manifest in both individual suffering and collective dysfunction. Understanding these costs helps us recognize why realignment with natural principles is not luxury, but necessity. The artificial lighting and climate control of modern environments disrupt our circadian rhythms, leading to sleep disorders, depression, and compromised immune function. We have lost the natural cycle of rest and activity that our bodies evolved to follow over millions of years. The result is chronic fatigue, despite constant stimulation, insomnia despite exhaustion, and a persistent sense of being out of sync with our own biological nature. Urban environments often lack the calming influence of natural settings, creating chronic stress that our nervous systems interpret as constant threat. The absence of natural beauty, the overwhelming presence of artificial stimulation, and the disconnection from earth, sky, and growing things contribute to anxiety, depression, and a vague but persistent sense that something essential is missing from daily experience. Modern work structures ignore natural energy cycles, demanding consistent productivity, regardless of seasons, weather, or personal rhythms. We try to maintain summer-level activity through winter, to produce at the same rate regardless of our natural cycles of expansion and consolidation. This leads to burnout, creative exhaustion, and the feeling that we are fighting against ourselves, rather than working with our natural capacities. The pace of technological change outstrips the pace of human adaptation, creating constant pressure to adjust to conditions that don't align with our evolved capabilities. We are asked to process information faster than reflection allows, to make decisions quicker than wisdom requires, to connect with more people than intimacy permits. The result is superficial engagement with everything, and deep connection with nothing. Consumer culture promotes artificial needs and manufactured dissatisfaction, disconnecting us from the natural contentment that comes from having enough. We are taught to seek happiness through acquisition, rather than appreciation, through external achievement, rather than internal development, through constant novelty, rather than deepening engagement with what is already present. The loss of regular contact with natural settings deprives us of perspective on human problems. When life becomes entirely about human concerns, careers, relationships, financial pressures, social status, these concerns can seem overwhelmingly important. Regular connection with nature provides context that helps us distinguish between genuine problems and manufactured anxieties, between what truly matters and what merely seems urgent. Perhaps most significantly, disconnection from natural wisdom leaves us without reliable guidance for making life decisions. When we don't understand natural principles, we lack criteria for distinguishing between healthy and unhealthy choices, sustainable and unsustainable patterns, aligned and misaligned directions. We become susceptible to cultural pressures and artificial standards that may conflict with our deeper nature and long-term well-being. Realigning with nature's wisdom begins with simple practices that reconnect you with natural rhythms and principles, gradually building a life structure that honors both your human capacities and universal patterns. Start by re-establishing connection with natural cycles. Rise closer to sunrise and rest closer to sunset, allowing your sleep patterns to synchronize with the natural rhythm of light and darkness. Notice how your energy and attention naturally fluctuate throughout the day, and structure activities to work with these patterns rather than against them. Allow yourself periods of rest that mirror winter's dormancy, and periods of activity that mirror spring's expansion. Spend regular time in natural settings without agenda or distraction. This is not exercise or recreation, but a practice of attention, learning to observe how natural systems operate, how they adapt to conditions, how they maintain balance. Let these observations inform your understanding of how to navigate your own challenges and opportunities. Adopt the principle of seasonal living in your work and personal development. Recognize that there are natural times for beginning new projects, spring energy; for intensive effort, summer energy; for harvesting results, autumn energy; and for rest and reflection, winter energy. Instead of trying to maintain constant productivity, learn to work with your natural cycles of expansion and consolidation. Practice what the Stoics called preferred indifference, engaging fully with outcomes while maintaining equanimity about results. Like a farmer who plants carefully and tends diligently while accepting that weather, soil, and other factors beyond control will influence the harvest, you can give your best effort while releasing attachment to specific outcomes. Cultivate the art of appropriate response, rather than reactive behavior. Nature demonstrates perfect responsiveness. Flowers open to sunlight, trees shed leaves in autumn, animals migrate when seasons change. These responses are neither impulsive nor delayed, but perfectly timed to conditions. Practice pausing between stimulus and response, to choose actions that align with wisdom rather than impulse. Develop what I call natural patience, the understanding that meaningful development requires time and cannot be rushed. Like a seed that must germinate in darkness before growing toward light, like a tree that must develop strong roots before reaching impressive heights. Your most important development happens gradually and often invisibly before manifesting in obvious results. Study the principle of enough. Nature demonstrates optimal resource use. Trees grow as large as their environment supports. Animals eat what they need. Rivers flow at the volume their watershed provides. Learn to distinguish between genuine needs and manufactured wants, between natural growth and artificial inflation, between healthy ambition and compulsive accumulation. The path I walked required me to understand the deepest patterns of existence, to see beyond surface appearances, to the underlying order that governs all things. In my darkest moments, when human society offered no guidance and conventional wisdom provided no comfort, it was the eternal principles written in the natural world that showed me the way forward. I learned that duty flows from understanding your proper role in the greater pattern. Like each cell serving the body while maintaining its function, like each tree contributing to the forest while growing toward its potential, each person serves the human community while developing their unique gifts. This is not sacrifice but alignment, finding the place where personal fulfillment and universal service become one. Your modern world offers unprecedented power to manipulate external conditions, but this power often seduces you away from the deeper power of alignment with natural wisdom. You can control room temperature, but not seasonal rhythms. You can manufacture artificial light, but not the peace that comes from moving with day and night. You can create virtual environments, but not the grounding that comes from regular contact with earth, water, and sky. The way forward is not to reject modern capabilities, but to integrate them with ancient wisdom. Use technology to enhance natural living, rather than replace it. Apply scientific knowledge to support natural rhythms, rather than override them. Employ modern conveniences to create space for timeless practices, rather than to avoid them entirely. Remember that alignment with nature is not about perfection, but about direction. Like a river that may encounter obstacles and temporary diversions, but maintains its essential flow toward the sea, you can maintain alignment with natural wisdom while navigating the complexities of contemporary life. The goal is not to live like ancient peoples, but to live by eternal principles in your current circumstances. Begin where you are, with what you have. Notice one natural cycle you can honor. Observe one natural principle you can apply. Practice one ancient wisdom you can integrate. Let these small alignments guide you toward greater harmony with the patterns that have sustained life for millions of years and will continue long after our current challenges have been resolved. The greatest technique is not the mastery of artificial systems, but the alignment with natural ones. In this alignment, you find not limitation but liberation, the freedom that comes from swimming with the current, rather than against it, from growing according to your nature, rather than fighting it, from finding your place in the eternal pattern, rather than trying to create a separate reality. Nature's wisdom is patient, persistent, and infinitely generous. It asks only that you observe, learn, and align. In return, it offers guidance that has been tested across eons, and will remain reliable across all the changes yet to come. Walk in harmony with the way things naturally are, and discover the peace that comes from moving with forces greater than yourself, while expressing gifts that are uniquely your own. This is the path of natural wisdom. It is always available, always relevant, always true.